And I say, hey, Arthur's 25 years old today. In terms of the anime, I can't believe it's been on this long. So yeah, today actually does mark 25 years since Arthur premiered on PBS. It was one of the 3 shows that premiered that year in the 96 season. And this one is still airing to this day. Well, not for very long, in case you haven't been paying attention, because back in July we learned that the show is going to air its final episode sometime in the winter, so man, it's going to be a hard pill to swallow.
Arthur's Teacher Trouble by Mark Brown.
So this was actually the 2nd episode of Arthur that aired on the show. They didn't do a Living Books of...
Hello, my name is Arthur. Welcome to Living Books. To have the story read to you, click right here. To play inside the story, click over here.
They didn't give the Living Books treatment to Arthur's eyes. Actually, they split this episode in 2. One became Arthur and the Real Mr. Ratburn, and the other became Arthur Spelling Trouble, because this title is kind of misleading. You'll see in a bit.
Okay.
At least now I can finally talk about the TV show here.
The bell rang. The first day of school was over. Kids ran out of every classroom, everyone but room 13.
Kind of appropriate.
Here the students filed out slowly, in alphabetical order.
See you tomorrow,
said their teacher, Mr. Ratburn.
So, yeah, this book was less about Arthur's anxiety over having Mr. Ratburn for a teacher, or if anything, because this book is more so about the plot about the spelling bee kind of takes over for here. I want to do the click around for surprises thing, but I think we'll let the paper airplane do its journey when I do the big marathon playing this upcoming winter or once weekend. And like I said, I'm going to give myself a January 1st deadline for finding DW the Picky Eater and Arthur's Computer Adventure. Okay, that girl looks a little too old to be in 3rd grade.
I can't believe he gave us homework the first day,
said Arthur.
I had the rap last year.
Said Prunella.
Boy, do I feel sorry for you.
Make one wrong move, and he puts you on death row,
warned Binky Barnes.
So this is how they started.
He's really a vampire with magical powers,
said Chris.
We do not like recess. So yeah, I guess this book is where the imagined spots came in. By the way, what happened to Chris? I don't think he made it onto the series, I think. I mean, there was some other random tough customer that we see with weird hair, but I don't think we ever learned his name. By the way, something I really want to bring up about the show is that Binky actually had the best development out of all the characters. I mean, he actually evolved more. Like, he didn't start off being part of Arthur's inner circle, but I guess by the time by the third season, he was actually part of their little group. Hell, in the season premiere Buster's Back, The Ballad of Buster Baxter, he actually said Binky was one of those people he hung out with. I guess the events in Arthur's underwear and Night Fright must have changed things. Heck, I guess the tough customers softened up when...
As everyone was leaving, the principal came out of his office.
Are you ready for the September Spellathon?
He asked. Yeah! Cheered the crowd.
Who's going to win this year?
Asked the principal. Everyone shouted.
If I win again this year, do I get my name on the trophy twice?
Asked Prunella.
Not if I can help it.
Whispered Francine.
Okay, I wish they redubbed this when this was re-released, because they should have redubbed it with the voice actors that were on Arthur at the time. And geez, I don't like Prunella's tone. Heck, she's like a poodle version of Frida from Peanuts, even. The resemblance is scary. By the way, I've noticed there were people in the books that didn't make it on here. I mean, I remember reading Arthur's Nose. There were like twin girls that were probably background characters, but I don't remember. I haven't read Arthur's Nose in like decades. Heck, in the book, Francine looked more like a chimpanzee. Why does Arthur's mom look more like DW here?
When Arthur got home, he slammed the back door.
How was school?
Mother asked.
I got the strictest teacher in the whole world.
Grumbled Arthur.
Well, of course, this scene doesn't make it into the TV show. Though, probably for the best, because I'm actually glad they split this book into two different episodes, two different segments of the same episode, since, like I said, the anxiety about having Mr. Ratburn for a teacher kind of goes away fast here. There's also a continuity error that I want to bring up once we get to that point in this game.
Have a chocolate chip cookie, said Mother.
Don't have time.
Said Arthur.
I have tons of homework.
I'll eat, Arthur.
Said DW.
I don't have any homework.
You don't even go to school.
Said Arthur.
I know.
DW smiled.
Well, as of this, did I mention that as of this recording, there's still no air date for All Grown Up, which unfortunately is going to be an 11-minute segment instead of a 1-hour episode. Seriously, PBS? Arthur's one of your most acclaimed series ever. Your longest animated running show on the network. And the final episode gets just 2 11-minute segments. Well, as long as we're at this point, I'll bring up the 1 hour special the first day, which I actually did see. I actually kind of liked it. I thought Arthur and DW handled the transition well, even though Arthur and Buster are no longer in the same class, or Sue Ellen for that matter, but whatever. I kind of hope we see the 4th grade routine again before the show ends. There's also going to be an episode called All Will Be Revealed, so there's probably going to be secrets of Arthur revealed or something, like what happened to that stupid snowball of hers. What really happened, because even though it clearly states that Buster was right the whole time.
Oh, okay.
After dinner, Arthur was still doing homework.
What's that?
Asked DW.
It's a map of Africa.
Said Arthur.
Looks like a pepperoni pizza.
Said DW.
And the narrator's actually laughing at that. It looks more like South America than Africa, though. But why would there be raisins in the mixture? And hopefully Mr. Ratburn gave Arthur more time, because there's no way he would have been able to finish this in an entire evening. You can finish your map of Florida in the morning. Africa. Oh, wait. Oops.
Next year, when I'm in kindergarten, I won't have any homework. Miss Minker never gives it.
Mom!
Called Arthur.
DW is being a pest. Time for bed.
Said Mother.
You can finish your map of Florida in the morning.
Africa!
It looks more like
Said
British.
Arthur.
It looks more like British Columbia than it does Africa now. Or a goblet, or a Holy Grail. So, the day they do announce an air date for the final episode, I will do the
The
plane.
next day, Mr. Ratburn announced a spelling test for Friday.
I want you to study very hard.
He said.
The test will have 100 words.
Buster looked pale.
And
Continued Mr. Ratburn.
the 2 students with the highest scores will represent our class at the all-school spellathon.
Arthur. Seriously, I'm getting Ferris Bueller vibes coming. The Ferris Bueller teacher vibes coming out of Mr. Ratburn in this one. And you know what? Something I forgot to bring up a few pages back, that little did we know that is that eventually we would know the real Mr. Ratburn, the wedding that would break the internet in 2019 and make people in Alabama freak out. Yeah, when I learned the news about the wedding, I gasped pretty darn loud enough for my supervisor to hear me, but I didn't tell her why I gasped, because she probably would have given me heck for... Well, never mind.
That week, everyone in Arthur's class studied harder than ever.
Brain, that is such a Buster thing to do. Actually, I'm not gonna lie. Muffy's way of studying actually looks so convenient. Ooh. What is that, an Apple IIe? Yeah, I gotta admit, when this show actually debuted when I was 6 years old and just starting second grade, and my second grade class was still using those types of computers, the ones that had where the games were floppy disks. I wonder why the Sticky Bear games aren't on Classic Reload. I would kill to play that spelling game again that was in my teacher's class. And believe it or not, I actually sent it to the 4th grade level because I actually enjoyed playing the game that much. And sadly, we do not get a scene of AARDVARK. They all heard him? Holy smokes.
Arthur spent a lot of time looking for quiet places to study.
Arthur! Mom wanted me to give you some more words to study.
Thanks, DW.
Well, at least she's being helpful here. I'm not sure there's anything I can say about this scene, really. I think we're about to approach the point where I'm going to bring up the continuity error.
Sorry.
Well, at least she's not performing Crazy Bus.
Suddenly, it was Friday, and time for the test. Arthur could smell Miss Sweetwater's class making popcorn. He could hear Mrs. Fink's class leaving for a trip to the aquarium.
They're doomed.
Why didn't we have to get stuck with little rats?
He whispered to Francine.
Okay, that is not how spelling tests work in real life. I mean, I don't know anyone who had spelling tests like that where the teacher was mostly silent. I mean, memorizing the stuff, I'm not sure that would be a... Well...
Pencils down, please. Pass your papers to the front.
And now I can bring up a continuity issue that I have with one of the books.
Mr. Ratburn corrected their papers during lunch.
Class,
He said,
most of you did very well on the test, but only 2 of you spelled every word correctly.
Muffy smiled. Francine hiccuped. Buster patted his good luck charm. Mr. Ratburn cleared his throat.
Our class representatives for the spellathon will be the Brain and Arthur.
There must be some mistake.
Yeah, about that mistake. If anyone has read Arthur and the True Francine, all of a sudden yeah, that scene where everyone's looking at the papers where they find out which class they're in, that scene was put into Arthur and the Real Mr. Ratburn. And here's another continuity error that was also fixed. When they did the TV version of Arthur and the True Francine, they actually fixed this continuity error by saying that Muffy actually started with them in second grade with Mr. Marco, who was in 2 books, Arthur's Eyes and Arthur's Tooth, which actually took place in 3rd grade. But hey, at least I'll give them credit for fixing a continuity error. Well, at least Mr. Marco made it onto the show. What I didn't finish bringing up earlier is that at least apparently becoming older siblings may have softened up the tough customers quite a lot, especially when it became established that Molly was, she didn't originate in the books. The tough customers were like created for the TV series as people that Binky hung around with. And like I said, he still kind of does. Once they established that Molly was the older sister of one of DW's classmates, that she softened up a bit, and it actually shows in the first day special. And the tough customers actually did a good thing for Buster, because I imagine it probably would have been a tough thing to deal with, the fact that he and Arthur aren't in the same class. But I kind of hope we see Alex and Samir again in the last few episodes of the show, because, well, there's no time for them, really. I mean, LaDonna and Bud had, 7 years on the show before they were moved off. I was actually kind of disappointed that they were moved off. I mean, I didn't exactly care for them, but I kind of wish they got us. Why didn't they get a spin-off? Oh well. So, even so, before Arthur came along, there weren't a lot of animated shows on PBS, probably because they still had the big purple thing to rely on.
Mr. Ratburn gave Arthur and the Brain each a special list of words.
Just study these, and you'll be ready for the spellathon in 2 weeks.
He said.
Yeah, let's skip this part. I mean, when Arthur premiered, the only animated series that was on was The Magic School Bus. There was another animated show that premiered that season, Adventures from the Book of Virtues, but how many people remember that? I mean, I guess it was popular enough to get the Wendy's Kids Meal treatment, I remember, because I actually had the maze and the puzzle from that. And I guess it wasn't on at a convenient enough time for me to watch it. Of course, the other show that premiered that season was Where in Time, but I already riffed on that. And like I said, I was actually looking forward to Arthur more than Where in Time, because something I had already read was being adapted into a TV series, and I was like, Carmen who? And that's kind of what I felt the second I saw promotions for it. I was like, why is Carmen live action? Hey, you're not Greg Lee. But like I actually said in a previous commentary before, I think that Greg Lee was offered Where in Time, but he turned it down. What's Rockapella's excuse? Or rather, what's PBS's excuse for... let's move on. There's something I really want to click on. Oh my, this is gonna take a while. So yeah, like I said, in the story, the spelling bee story kind of takes over here. And you know what? Despite the fact that Mr. Ratburn gives out tough assignments, at least he gives a crap about the students he teaches. I mean, enough so that they were invited to his wedding, to the candy confectioner, in that unexpected twist of a wedding. And I would say that's perfect for Ratburn, since anyone who has watched Arthur would know he has a notorious sweet tooth. Oh my god, more words! I did not play this game enough as a child. I think it was because I preferred to play Just Grandma and Me. That's a Living Books classic. Maybe I'll play it this next year. So, should I talk about gaming season next year? Because I'm going to try to find whatever few Reader Rabbit games are left for me to play for the PC, because no, I'm not going to play the reboots. Hashtag not my Reader Rabbit. Because I feel like they've retconned Matt the Mouse. That's not fair. She's just as crucial of a role as Sam Lyon does. And in case you didn't know already, I found the first two You Don't Know Jack games, so that will be in the lineup for sure. I plan on finishing up Oregon Trail 3, and since I found those two You Don't Know Jack games, I won't do a poll for what I should download, because I found two more games to put in the lineup, so I won't have to really download anything. What I will ask is, should I keep playing Maya Quest, because this is not a popular viewing. It's not popular viewing on my channel, sadly. I work really hard on playing that game. It's not very easy because I have to go through so many pages and stuff. Because if no one wants to see me play it, then I'm going to take it out. I'm not playing it for nobody.
Arthur helped him study. Grandma asked Arthur his spelling words.
Now spell trouble, honey. Trouble. That's right there.
How about your CHORES?
Father asked.
I will, after I finish my homework, Dad.
Have you made your BED?
Mother added.
YES, Mom.
Did she just... You know what? I'm going to click on her because probably the funniest bit of the game here.
Arthur, spell sister.
BRAT.
Oh, snap!
I am not.
Arthur.
SISTER. Sister.
Oh, snap. This was made before the show came on. And yeah, they kind of upped the brattiness factor. Well, not really brattiness, but even Watch Mojo admitted that DW was insufferable. I feel like that they de-evolved her as the series went on. I mean, come on, even I watched some of the shows on PBS that weren't meant for kids as young as 5. I mean, she would have been addicted to Carmen. I bet she would have. Especially considering it was made by the same people.
DW helped too. When Francine and Buster came over, DW answered the door.
Arthur can't play, but I can.
She said.
I don't have to study.
Oh man, I forgot to look for the names of Mark Brown's kids. Well, I could easily see Tolan in one of the book spines in that scene with the brain.
Have fun studying, Arthur.
They're probably gonna watch Bionic Bunny.
I can't believe the spellathon is finally here,
said Grandma.
Maybe now we'll get a little peace and quiet.
DW.
said.
Good luck, Arthur.
Said Mother and Father.
Hey, Arthur, we're on.
Thankfully, I never had to do any spelling bees when I was younger. It's not exactly a sport in Canada.
From backstage, Arthur could hear the whole school out in the auditorium.
Well, today's the big day,
said Mr. Ratburn.
How do you feel?
I feel fine.
The brain answered. Arthur gulped.
Oh, I wish I were still back in bed.
Well, in the episode, Arthur did have anxieties about the spelling bee, and Ratburn actually told him he believed in him. I kind of wish I had him for a 5th grade teacher instead of a wicked witch of the... Instead of having a teacher that would make the Wicked Witch of the West seem like, well, Alphaba and Wicked.
Good luck, boy.
Oh look, Prunella made it on.
The principal welcomed everyone and explained the rules. The brain had the first turn. He stepped up to the microphone.
The first word is fear.
Said the principal.
F-E-R-E.
Aw, Brain.
Said the brain, a little too quickly.
I'm sorry.
Said the principal.
That's not correct.
Are you sure?
Asked the brain.
What dictionary are you using?
Well, in the episode, fear did get to the brain, and, well, you all know what happens there.
The brain wasn't the only one to drop out quickly. The representatives from Miss Sweetwater's and Mrs. Fink's class were gone in a flash.
See what happens when you spend more time eating popcorn and going on field trips to the aquarium?
Before long, only Arthur and Prunella were left. It was Prunella's turn.
The word is preparation.
Said the principal. Prunella looked down at her feet.
Could I have the definition, please?
She asked after a moment.
Preparation.
The principal repeated.
The process of getting ready.
Of course.
said Prunella.
P-R-E-P...
She paused.
E-R-A-T-I-O-N.
I'm sorry. That's incorrect.
No 2
Said
Pete
the
for
principal.
you, honey.
Now Arthur gets a chance to spell it.
Prunella was kind of obnoxious in the episode, though. Kind of makes me wonder, did she even study? Of course, preparation is probably one of those tricky words, just like separate, where there should be an A instead of an E.
Arthur looked out over the audience and took a deep breath.
Cut it out,
Preparation.
DW.
He said,
P-R-E-P-A-R-A-T-I-O-N.
Correct.
said the principal. Everyone in Mr. Ratburn's class cheered.
Well, DW had a better reaction than that. She actually gave a whistle. Oh, Karma, you don't come enough, you know that. You know, there are several books in the Arthur collection that I'm sorry didn't get made into a episode segment.
Then Mr. Ratburn went to the microphone.
I'm very proud of Arthur.
He said,
In fact, I'm proud of my whole class. They worked very hard.
Like Arthur's Thanksgiving, for example. Or Arthur's Valentine, but even they were kind of shipping Arthur and Francine that far back. And Arthur's Christmas, which was obviously written before Pal came into the picture. It was there that Grandma Thora brought her dog Killer. He doesn't really make a lot of appearances in the books, but he actually eventually found his way onto the Arthur TV series. Oh well. I kind of liked Arthur's Perfect Christmas a little bit better. Also, I wish they gave Arthur Meets the President the TV treatment, but that became DW Goes to Washington
This is the
instead.
last third grade I'll have in this spellathon. But next year, I look forward to a new challenge. Teaching kindergarten.
I'm actually kind of sorry they didn't go with that, because I would have loved to have seen how Mr. Ratner would have handled a kindergarten class. Though, to be honest, his sister would have been more suited for kindergarten, considering that one time that Arthur and his class got a break from Mr. Ratburn, they got bored so quickly. I mean, I would have liked to have seen how that would have done, but someone would have had to remind Mr. Ratburn that kindergartners don't get homework. And granted, I didn't get homework until I entered third grade. Yeah, they didn't give it in second grade for some reason. Probably a good thing. Well, that's the end of the book.
Thank you all. We'll see you at the spell.
On next year.
So long.
Yeah, like I said, we'll let the
I'll see you next time.
paper airplane do its journey when I do the big marathon in the future. I'm gonna assume that the final episode is probably going to air on a Friday because
If you want to play inside it.
that would make the most sense. Besides, at least I'll be home. I would be home that day. Otherwise, I would have to pre-play the whole thing, and it would take me a long time. Like this commentary is done. So yeah, the PBS series has gone through a lot. They've dealt with everything, even cancer, and we all know how that turned out. Like I said, I'm actually sorry they didn't bring in the voice actors from the TV series because to dub this, considering it would actually sound more recognizable. It's actually kind of hard to not hear
If you want to
the
play
voices we're familiar
inside
with.
a certain page, click on the arrow to select the page you want.
Though it's
And
kind of
then
close
click
here.
Okay.
There was also another, and apparently the series was so good
You
that
have the story read to you.
apparently
Click right here.
there were more books that were
To play inside the
put
story,
out that
click over here.
were print adaptations of the TV episodes, because after some of them aired, I wanted to read a book version of Arthur Accused and Locked in the Library, or etc. You know, even though Arthur's TV trouble came to be around the same when the TV series came to be, that did not get a TV adaptation. Well, I guess I'll wrap it up now. Thank you for joining me on this very special commentary playing of Arthur's Teacher Trouble. I guess the next time oh, by the way, the 20th Playversary special of Carmen San Diego 1996 is still on. I'm actually going to play it this Monday. It's going to take me hours.
To have the story read to you, click right here.
I just hope it doesn't exit on me all of a
To
sudden.
play inside the story, click.
Okay, that's all. I'll see you guys next time.
Are you sure you want to quit?
As I have no other own or Playversaries this year aside from the big Carmen 96 one.
Okay, goodbye.
Goodbye.